Welcome back to the channel. My name's Cody. I'm joined by Oreo today, and we're talking about general rules for business. Now, a lot of people seem to get stuck in business because they have a lot of ambiguity in their universe. That's okay, but you need to figure out how to shift past that. In the last video, I talked about systematizing with the box drill and figuring out how to go from point A to point B the most efficient manner possible. Today, we're just talking about the general rules that you should really figure out and put importance on. Now, we've talked about simplicity in the past. Keeping things simple is super important. But what you do have to map out in that simplistic journey is where are the goalposts at? When I was getting started in my first business as a real estate agent, what I was told to do is map out where are the goalposts? What are you shooting for? And regardless of whether you're a real estate agent, I was talking with one today about this, whether you're in the ownership side, you've got your own business that you're running, where are you shooting the ball? Now, that might be comical to you. You might laugh about that because you think, well, I want to make money. I want to hit this goal. I want to retire this person. That's great. But most people don't spend a lot of time really thinking about what are the goalposts? What is considered a win? And once you map that out, the beauty of this game is the beauty of the system. When you map out what is considered a win, you get to establish what is the most efficient path to get there. And this leads into the second point I want to make on this video. The most efficient path is going to be based on the pieces that you have. And what we do in business, myself and my business partners, what we've aimed to do is play the most efficient game we can and shoot the ball where the goalposts are today. If the goalposts move, we'll shift. But until that point, we're going to play the game that's in front of us. And we use the pieces we have in front of us to the best of our abilities. It's cool to play the comparison game and say, well, if I had their pieces, I would have done way better, or I would have done the same thing. But you don't. So you have to make do with the pieces you got in front of you to shoot the ball at the goalposts that are in front of you. And what I've found has been really helpful for me is trying to map out the most efficient path from where I'm at to where I'm trying to go, the goalposts in this scenario. And what I've found is I've mapped it out and then I share it with someone who's already done the journey I'm trying to make. And they poke holes in it. And what I found is that that's super helpful because it shows me that I'm number one, not as good as I think I am, but two, there's a more efficient path. You don't have to do the grind for as long as people are saying you got to grind for on social media. Grinding just to grind and to be relevant on social media is not a great idea, nor is it a great business model. So, what I've strived for and what I'm encouraging you to consider is figure out what the most efficient path is with your pieces, and then find people that have already done what you want to do and share what you've mapped out with them and see if they can poke holes in it, point out you're not as good as you think you are, or give you ideas on how to improve upon what you're already working on. Maybe it's just one tweak, a couple tweaks, so that you can get from where you're at to the goalposts a little bit faster. This doesn't have to be a solo journey. You don't have to be a solopreneur who wins and is 100% self-made. Nobody's 100% self-made. Ask for help after you've mapped out these steps from the pieces that you've got in front of you. Because in the end of the day, we can only use what we have in front of us to our advantage. We can't use other people's pieces unless we build relationships with them and then bring them into our universe. But you don't get that day one. If you do this method, you ask people for help who have already done what you're trying to do. Don't just ask your family members because you like them or they like you. Ask people who have done what you're trying to do, their thoughts on your most efficient path. And they might be able to take a couple steps out of there or add a couple things that you're not thinking about so that you can get from point A to point B in the quickest and most stable path forward. And that's really it for today. It's a shorter video, but this is super important. I was talking about it with a real estate agent today. It made me think back to when I was getting started. And these are just some things that you really should sit down and spend some time on because your most efficient path is going to be based on the pieces that you have and the actual knowledge and the application of how you use those pieces. And the people that have already done what you're trying to do will probably have a different take on how to best apply what you've got in front of you that you're not even thinking about. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I launch two of these videos a week. I really appreciate you watching.